This is NBA TV's NBA Action. This week we'll focus on the Memphis Grizzlies and the Chicago Bulls, who both turned it around after slow starts. Plus, we'll tell you about a huge setback for the Lakers. Follow the NBA journeys of Tony Parker and Pau Gasol, and as always, we'll bring you the top 10 plays of the week.
Oh, what a jam by McGrady. Tracy McGrady.
Get out. He is unstoppable. You cannot believe what we just saw. Oh, man, what a dunk.
Tear up that rim, young fella. Sensational.
Oh, I'm shaking in my chair.
Oh, at home.
We begin by going into the action in the West with the surging Memphis Grizzlies, winners of 9 of their last 10.
I need, on a daily basis, an energy and a stamina. And then with me, it's a spirit. Well, one day you wake up, you don't have that. And that's when you got to understand that that's the time you got to walk.
The Grizzlies were 5-7 when Hubie Brown resigned unexpectedly, and as new head coach Mike Fratello took over, they would have little time to learn his new philosophy.
Bottom line is we got to win games. Coach Fratello's in a tough situation. We only get a few practices here, so they're trying to fit him in and get his system working and get comfortable with it. Get back on track, try to get back to 500, and then make our move from there.
And against the Clippers a few weeks later, things finally started to click as the Grizzlies dominated the game from start to finish and blew out LA by 20 points.
I guess when it rains, it pours sometimes.
So the Grizzlies plan a number on the Clippers.
This is a feel-good win for them.
Next, Boston came to town and came out hot, leading by 11 after 3 quarters.
Pierce leans in and banks it home. That is a heck of a defender, and Pierce got that off easily. Walter, the trailer, buries the 3.
Way to go, Walter.
But after trailing the entire game, Memphis exploded on a 16-0 run early in the 4th.
Mike Miller shoots the 3. Much better. Right side Posey looking for 3. Yes! Watson drives right side, goes to the hoop. Got the contact. The shot goes. He's got a chance for one more.
And the Grizzlies' late surge sent them on the way to an inspiring come-from-behind victory.
That should do it as the Grizzlies, I don't know how, folks, but they brought out the old magic from last year as they get the victory over the Boston Celtics.
Next, it was off to Minnesota, where Kevin Garnett showed his MVP form, dominating Memphis with 20 first-half points.
Garnett's coming out smoking.
He's so long. I mean, even when he doesn't elevate, he can just get up so high in the air.
Down by 7 at halftime, the Grizzlies rallied once again. First, they clamped down on Garnett.
Kevin stuffed down low.
Then Pau Gasol went to work on offense, scoring 16 points in the 3rd quarter to put Memphis on top.
Gasol. And the foul. Gasol, who is dominated here in the 3rd quarter.
The 4th belonged to Earl Watson, who was 5 of 5 from downtown in the game and finished off Minnesota.
Watson for 3, puts it down. Earl Watson tearing it up down the stretch. This one's over. The Memphis Grizzlies, for just the 3rd time in Grizzly history, come into Minnesota and come away with a win.
Back home against Utah 2 nights later, Pau Gasol took charge once again with 25 points and 10 rebounds.
Jason on a run up the right side. No look pass. Right to Pau for the dunk. Yeah, baby. That's the way to run the fast break. Jason with a lob for Pau. Coming in with 2 hands for the flight. And that will do it. Your final score at FedEx Forum, the Grizzlies, for the first time this season, have won 4 straight, 92-82.
Memphis hit the road to face the defending champion Pistons, but in this game, it was the Grizzlies who played like champs, racing right past Detroit.
Memphis running. Miller. An easy score. Partially blocked by Gasol. Picked off by Wells. He's got time. Behind the clock as he goes to work. Bonzi Wells. You have to be joking. Bonzi Wells. And look at the bench. They're doing this on the Pistons floor. This is unbelievable. Tossing the big pin. Goes hard inside. Blocked by Wright.
They look like the playoff team that won 50 games last year.
Down the floor, Gasol. He loves to run it. And crush it. And that'll finish up. The Memphis Grizzlies earned it and won it from the get-go, dominating things 101-79.
Next, it was Shane Battier's turn to shine. He made a clutch basket and a big defensive play down the stretch as the Grizzlies stung the Hornets for their 6th consecutive win.
Blocked by Shane. The man needs to wear a cape. That's all there is to it. The Grizzlies are now go 18-17 with a difficult, hard-fought victory over New Orleans.
Now we go back into the action in the East with the Chicago Bulls, who are bringing winning back to the Windy City. The once proud Bulls have struggled in recent years, and they've been rebuilding with a young cast of players.
We don't really have any superstars on this team, so we're going to have to come together and play as a team.
How we come together as a team on and off the court is really going to help us.
We just have to have the confidence that when the game's on the line that we're going to win the game.
We don't have any time to sit back and just kind of let things flow. We have to go out and make things happen.
After starting the season 0-9, the Bulls made some lineup changes and began to take off, and they look to keep it going at home against Utah.
Oh, that was a pretty fade.
But the Jazz, losers of 7 straight, desperately needed a victory and took a 10-point lead after the first quarter.
Over for a screen roll. He can shoot that shot. He can flat shoot that.
Then Chicago turned up the defense, and by the third quarter, they were in command of the game.
Heinrich comes up with it, and guess who's at the other end?
Rookie Luol Deng scored 22 points, and though the Jazz would come back to tie the game at 70, Deng led the Bulls on a fourth-quarter run.
Heinrich across the floor. Luol Deng, no dribble, hammer!
Deng also added 7 rebounds and 5 assists and made some big shots down the stretch.
Heinrich drives inside, kicks it back. Luol from 16.
The Bulls continue the turnaround that began when Deng, Chris Duhon, and Antonio Davis became starters.
2 in a row that have not been pretty, but wins. Chicago Bulls now 12 wins on the year.
Gaining confidence with every game, the Bulls came out flying against Boston. Starting for the injured Antonio Davis, veteran Othella Harrington provided a huge lift with 19 points.
See what Harrington does here. Just goes over the top of block.
Chicago took a 6-point lead into the second half, but Celtic star Paul Pierce was keeping his team close with 20 points and a relentless effort.
Pierce gets it back.
But Kirk Heinrich's 22 points and 14 assists, along with the solid play of Othella Harrington, was just too much for Boston.
The lead. This place is rocking. Oh, picked up by Jefferson. Faces him. Takes the shot over the top. What a night for Othella Harrington. 19 for Othella.
And the Bulls went on to defeat the Celtics 102-91 for their 3rd consecutive victory.
9-9 at home. 13-18 overall.
The next game, Harrington delivered again.
Othella with it. There's the turn and face. Backs in, jump up.
Othella had 20 against Golden State, and Chris Duhon also stepped up.
Open 3.
Yeah!
The Bulls rolled to another win over Mike Montgomery's Warriors.
It was not pretty, but it was a win by the Chicago Bulls, 94-85.
The Bulls tried for their 6th consecutive win when they hosted the Knicks and rallied to tie the score late in the game.
Back-to-back trays. Yep. There it comes.
With New York looking to regain the lead in the final seconds, Chicago's defense saved the day.
No, block. Jones saves.
Ahead Notes. Over to Eddie. Knock it down, Eddie.
Yes.
Listen to
What a play. What a play by Tyson Chandler.
And then with the Knicks trying to tie it, Chandler stood tall once again.
Bulls win their 6th. Their 6th in a row. Wow.
This is a big win for us. We got to go to New York now. They're going to be hyped up. We got to get a win there, too.
The Knicks were aiming for revenge on their home court 2 days later, and it looked as if they would get it.
Stephon Marbury puts the Knicks up by 7.
But late in the game, the Bulls staged a furious rally. Down by 3 with under a minute left, they turned to Andres Nocioni.
There's the three-pointer right in front of the Knick bench.
Nocioni nails it, and the game is tied.
Still tied and 16 seconds left, rookie Ben Gordon took the game into his hands with the biggest shot of his young career.
Oh, he puts it in with 0.2 of a second remaining. What a shot from Gordon.
And when the Knicks missed at the buzzer, the Bulls had their 7th straight win.
And a devastating loss for the Knicks, second time in 3 days.
Time now to log on to NBA.com, beginning with news about 2 stars on the sidelines. It was the last thing Laker fans wanted to see. Kobe Bryant carried off the court after severely spraining his ankle in a game against Cleveland.
That's a pretty sharp roll right on the foot of Ira Newble, and I would think Kobe would certainly be out the rest of this game and probably for a little bit of an extended period of time.
The league's number 2 scorer is on the injured list and is expected to miss at least 2 more weeks. Also going down with an injury was the New Jersey Nets' Richard Jefferson.
Jefferson down the floor. Oh, he went down hard. Foul called against Billups, and Richard Jefferson down in a heap. Jefferson, that left hand, a concern.
In that game against Detroit, Jefferson tore a ligament in his left wrist. He played 7 more games, but now will undergo surgery and miss the remainder of the season.
I'd had a sprained wrist before, so I just figured it was a sprained wrist and, continue to try and play. And if you look at the dramatic drop in my numbers and, my percentages and how I played, and, once the x-ray showed what it was, and then I took an MRI.
It's obviously horrible news. We feel most horrible for Richard, who, as you know, just worked so hard at his craft. He was having an all-star caliber season. So we feel horrible for him.
It hurts, especially a team that's been so depleted this far into the season, to lose somebody who means so much to our team. It's a big loss.
He's capable of going in for 30, each and every night, and he does so many other things that help our team win, and we're just going to have to make up for that.
In other news, the Kings traded veteran Doug Christie to the Magic in exchange for guard Cuttino Mobley and forward Michael Bradley. Christie spent 5 years in Sacramento.
Doug was a great guy as well as a great player. Doug's the type of person that really didn't need to score baskets to get things done. He went out and did, the hard-nosed stuff, that he did, and it's just sad to see him go.
Finally, Shaquille O'Neal received the NBA Community Assist Award for December. Shaq bought gifts for hundreds of underprivileged kids during the holiday season.
I was taught a long time ago by my parents to, help those out. So I'm just out here passing out toys, and these kids are the future. And this is what I was taught to do.
Thank you, Shaq. We love you.
Now a look at some of the NBA's more entertaining moments in the latest edition of I Love This Game. It's time to slide right into the NBA's best plays of the week. And we start in Toronto with a sliding finger roll from the Raptors' Mo Peterson. If you like that one, we have more tricks up our sleeve, like this fancy pass from the Pistons' Rip Hamilton.
For Hamilton, a catch, being trailed. Oh, he dropped it off to Thompson.
And when passes miss the mark, Ben Wallace tracks them down.
Threw it away, Ben with some hustle. Somehow saved it. What a great play by Ben. Billups for 3.
Even those who stand tallest in the NBA can get knocked down. But when it comes to knocking down big shots, leave it to Dirk Nowitzki.
Nowitzki, who will take it from just over midcourt. And make it!
The Bulls were also in a race to beat the clock.
Bulls have a chance. Heinrich on the hustle. Curry. Yes.
You'll need skills like dribbling if you want to grow up to be an NBA star like Pau Gasol, who took Jermaine O'Neal off the dribble.
Oh, my. Spain has just invaded the United States.
And while some fans master the chicken dance, Minnesota's Eddie Griffin proved that he was no chicken when he challenged the dunk attempt by Kenyon Martin.
Oh, speaking of blocks, Griffin throws it back.
Yes, there was plenty to get excited about this past week, especially this driving dunk by the Grizzlies' Stromile Swift.
Swift taking it one. And fake
in with the big finish. It's the Bobcats' Gerald Wallace.
Brevin Knight's going to push it again. Play flying Gerald Wallace, who pounded it down.
Now we visit two of the NBA's international stars, the Spurs' Tony Parker and the Grizzlies' Pau Gasol, in this week's timeout.
Everything was new for me coming here. The team, the teammates, the city, the country. It was tough times.
The first time I met Pau was on draft night, and it was the second day he had been in the country. You're talking about culture shock, and to be the third pick in the NBA draft, I can't imagine what he was going through at the time.
You never go out and try to find like a good paella here or anything like that?
No, there's no paella here.
Oh, come on!
When you're a rookie and you come into the league, you understand how tough it is. And, when you're a rookie comes from Spain into the league, it's got to be just that much tougher.
You get homesick and sad. And what do you do?
Sometimes.
You what?
Sometimes.
Sometimes you cry about it?
No, don't cry. But
NBA guys don't cry.
No, right.
Now in his fourth NBA season, Pau Gasol is the leader of the Grizzlies and is feeling more at home in Memphis. But he still remembers those rookie blues.
My first year was real tough. All that I remember is that I was trying to focus as much as I could with basketball because that's all I had. Oh, tough one. I didn't know anybody. I didn't feel as comfortable speaking the language, and it was hard.
But while Pau struggled to adjust, Tony Parker's past experiences helped him fit right in when he arrived in San Antonio.
Hey, how you doing, Dave? It's Tony. You all right? Mark's here? All right. Living in the States for me, it was easy because I always came here when I was small in the summer, every summer, come and see my family.
Tony's dad is American, so the young Parker often traveled across the Atlantic to visit relatives and hone his game on the playground.
Every time I came to Chicago, I wanted to go play in street ball, I wanted to see how good they are, and that was a great way for me to see where my game was against the best, and so it helped my aggressiveness, and helped me when I came back, and never want to lose. Day of the draft, I was very sad and motivated at the same time because everybody was saying I'm going to be drafted, in the top 20, So when I slipped to San Antonio, 28, I was very mad, and I remember that Pop called me, and said, "Well, welcome to the Spurs," and he said, "What you think?" I said, "Oh, Pop, I'm mad now. I'm going to show everybody, they make a big mistake,
All right, what we got? I don't have a shot. What can I do here? I had such a hard time adjusting, and I was really homesick. But after that, I was real glad that I was playing well and that I got the Rookie of the Month several times, and then I got the Rookie of the Year. That was great for me, Back home also, everybody was real excited about that. There we go. There you go. Nice touch.
But everything went fast, I played preseason, I played 20 minutes every game. And after the 5th game in the season, they put me in the starting five. And Pop just say, "You're going to be our guy, I'm going to trust you, and just do your thing." So I had to show Pop, that he didn't make a mistake, that I have confidence on me.
With that confidence came high expectations. Tony didn't have much margin for error on a team contending for an NBA title.
But when I first came to San Antonio, everybody made it clear, we want to win the championship. And basically, that's what you live every day in San Antonio. You have to perform, you have to win. You got pressure, every day.
There was a different kind of pressure on Pau Gasol. This untested rookie was called upon to turn around the fortunes of a losing team.
It's really been phenomenal in the sense that when we arrived, they were really struggling to put 10 quality NBA players on the floor. But management scrapped the team, and they decided to totally rebuild. And they turned the keys over to Pau Gasol, and we've got a team worth watching.
It was all fast. It was all so fast that I couldn't even think about it or realize how fast it was going. And I was just happy to live a dream. It was a dream come true.
It was a perfect fit for me. I'm totally lucky to have great teammates, the vets, they always took care of me when I was rookie, and now they're like brothers for me. It's amazing. I'm so happy.
Now it's time for the top 10 plays of the week in our NBA TV countdown. Starting at number 10, coming right at you, it's the Rockets' Tracy McGrady.
Oh, what a jam by McGrady. Tracy McGrady. Tomahawk jam.
In at number 9 is a half-court heave from the Raptors' Mo Peterson.
Peterson lets it fly.
That is, you're in the lap of the gods when stuff like that starts happening.
Coming in at number 8 is the Wizards' Larry Hughes, flying right past the Suns.
Larry did what he did last night, and this time he slams it in.
At number 7 is LeBron James with this bullet pass for Anderson Varejão.
Great look to Varejão, who went reversing. Sweet dime doled out by LeBron James.
At number 6, the Kings' Brad Miller sends it up top for Maurice Evans.
You don't like that. You don't like NBA basketball. It does get better than that. I beg your pardon.
At 5, Jameer Nelson on the drive leaves the flying to Steve Francis.
Nelson drops it off to Francis.
At 4, the Hornets' Baron Davis finds high-flying rookie J.R. Smith.
Davis.
Oh, my goodness. That was sick, wicked, and nasty. J.R. Smith.
Oh. At 3, once again, it's Steve Francis, this time with some extra magic.
Francis gets the lead feed in the dunk. He was all alone. What is this, All-Star Weekend? Where's Charles Barkley with a 9-point foul?
In at number 2 is a Hawk who's spreading his wings, rookie Josh Smith.
Josh Smith. Big slam. Give it.
He evacuates the baseline. Oh.
And at number 1, Corey Maggette delivers the winner in double overtime.
Maggette will fire for the win.
He got it.
Oh, real my. Corey Maggette throws in a circus three-pointer.
The Clippers were hunting for a hero. They found one.
That's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. Last week, fans on NBA.com agreed with us that this LeBron James slam was the #1 play of the week, and it's certainly worth another look. Remember, you can vote for your favorite play all season long by logging on to the league's official website, NBA.com. I'm Spiro Ditas for NBA TV's NBA Action. See you next week.